of this G20 gavel of this G20 summit formally closes this summit and now moves on to the next president of the G20, which is the United States, where we shall see each other again next year. The summit is therefore closed.
President Cyril Ramaphosa officially drew the curtain on the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg on Sunday, urging world leaders to confront global challenges collectively and ensure that no one is left behind in the pursuit of shared prosperity. Delivering his closing remarks at the Johannesburg Expo Center, Ramaphosa said the first G20 summit ever hosted on African soil had placed urgent global priorities squarely at the center of the agenda, and said together we must accelerate progress towards the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and the Pact for the Future. We have laid the foundation of solidarity. Now we must build the walls of justice and the roof of prosperity. He thanked the G20 members, invited countries and international organizations for their support throughout South Africa's presidency, adding that their commitment had reaffirmed the G20 as the world's premier forum for international economic cooperation. Ramaphosa reminded delegates that the Johannesburg summit unfolded and said in the face of significant challenges, yet still demonstrated that nations can come together even in times of great difficulty to pursue a better world. Highlighting the historic nature of the gathering, he said South Africa had used its presidency to place Africa's growth and development at the heart of the G20 agenda, and said the greatest opportunity for the prosperity in the 21st century lies in Africa, emphasizing the need for strong partnerships between Africa and the global community. He reiterated calls for an end to global conflicts in pursuit of a just, comprehensive, and lasting peace. Calling for united action, Ramaphosa said the summit came at a moment when demands for progress on critical issues, ending poverty, reducing inequality, and addressing climate change are growing louder worldwide. He highlighted the escalating debt burden faced by developing economies and said the G20 had pledged support for low and middle-income countries grappling with debt vulnerabilities, and said together we must create a virtuous cycle of reduced debt, high public investment, and more rapid and inclusive economic growth. Ramaphosa also underscored the importance of strengthening global disaster resilience, noting that climate-induced natural disasters hit developing nations hardest. South Africa, he said, had introduced new voluntary principles aimed at boosting investment in disaster risk reduction. On climate finance, Ramaphosa said the G20 had made progress in mobilizing funds for a just energy transition and reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring energy security, affordability, and universal access. He stressed the need for deep, rapid, and sustained reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, adding that the global investment in climate finance must be substantially scaled up. Ramaphosa hailed the adoption of the G20 Leaders Declaration as a significant achievement and said our agreement on a declaration during the summit demonstrates the value of the G20 as a forum that can facilitate joint action on issues of shared concern. More than that, it reaffirms our renewed commitment to multilateral cooperation and our recognition that our shared goals outweigh our differences. He also confirmed that South Africa had completed its G20 review, saying the recommendations aim to keep the forum fit for purpose in an ever-changing world. As he formally closed the summit, Ramaphosa urged leaders to carry forward the spirit of unity that defined the Johannesburg gathering and said, "Let us move forward together, demonstrating to the world that we have the capacity to confront and overcome the world's challenges. Together, we can ensure that no one is left behind." South Africa will now hand over the G20 presidency to the United States and said, with that, the summit is formally closed. Ramaphosa declared as delegates applauded. Meanwhile, the International Relations and Cooperation confirmed that they have marked the United States absent from the G20 summits in Johannesburg. Speaking to journalists at the Nasdaq Expo Center on Saturday, DECO spokesperson Crispin Perez said the department had officially marked the U.S. as absent, shifting the summit's focus firmly onto the countries that chose to be in the room. Perez said the United States is not attending. We will mark them absent, and we have marked them absent. The whole world is here, and that's what we want to focus on our agenda. Those who are not present are not present. It is what it is. Earlier, it was reported that the U.S. tried to reapply for the accreditation, but the deadline hit them. The absence comes at a sensitive point in U.S.-SA relations, strained in recent months by disagreements over global alignments, South Africa's position on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and ongoing trade tensions. The U.S. is set to take over the G20 presidency next. Questions intensified after U.S. officials indicated that only a junior embassy representative might be available to receive the ceremonial handover of the G20 presidency, an offer Pretoria firmly rejected. Perez stressed that the presidency spokesperson, Vincent Magwenya, said President Cyril Ramaphosa had directly communicated that such a handover could not occur at a lower diplomatic level, and said, "We will not be handing over to a junior official here. It's a matter of process. They will be taking over the presidency, and that can be done at the appropriate level." Asked whether a senior American official might still attend final session, Perez said South Africa has received no update, but he stressed this would not affect the summit's final declaration or disrupt the agenda, and said what's going to happen here is a discussion with all the world leaders that are present. Those who are not here are not here. Our media should not be obsessed about people who are not in the room. What's important is what's being discussed in the room. Despite geopolitical fractures, Perez said delegates are moving closer to consensus with most technical work completed, and said we believe the leaders who are here will be able to edge closer to the consensus, even as the world's biggest economy remains outside of the door.
A lot of very bad things happening, very bad things.
Terrible things.
Terrible things happening.
It's a disgrace.
The outgoing president, USA as will be the current president then, and the United Kingdom, who will be the incoming president, will sit in a troika to prepare and to run that G20 and influence. And the UK have already declared that even if the USA drops, because they've indicated there are thematic areas, even if the UK drops that which will come out of Johannesburg and South Africa, they will proceed with that agenda. So we are safe. The sun, like we said, it will continue to rise from the east and set in the west. Thank you.
How could the center for conversations, please, one more question. Just one question.
Just someone, please.
Come after. Thank you so much.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.